Hello and welcome to another video and podcast from Fantasy Football Scout. Just as I was starting, my dogs have started barking, but they're in another room, so I'm just going to let them bark behind me. Hopefully they don't disturb everything. My name is Joe, and as ever, I'm joined by Neale, Fantasy Football Scout's editor, to discuss all the latest team news and developments ahead of the deadline. It's game week 7, and the deadline is tonight, so don't forget it. It's Friday. 6:30 is the deadline. Just a reminder, do press that like button, does help us out, and do remember to subscribe to our latest videos and podcasts. Also, welcome to those joining us early in the live chat, including Alan, Attaboy, JM Moore, Cloud, Kazama, Praneshan, Hedgie, Historia Films, and many, many more. Thanks so much for joining us. Neale, welcome. How are you?
Good, thanks, Joe. Yeah, I apologise if I'm sounding slightly different today. I've already explained to you offline. I am on my mobile today because of laptop issues, but hopefully you can hear me. Okay.
So I've tried to sort out most of the cameras, but there might be a little bit of a sort of black screen from his phone creeping in, but don't worry about that. Okay, let's move on straight away. We've got tonight's match, Bournemouth against Fulham. What's the latest from Bournemouth?
Yeah, pretty quiet on the team news front. Adam Smith and Ennis O'Neill are still out, the medium to long-term ones. And Lewis Cook, who's the only other flagged Bournemouth player, he's been back in training, and Iraola hopes to have him available.
Right, yeah, okay, very short, and obviously, and often quite short of Fulham, although there is actually some injury developments there.
Yeah, 3 injuries sort of constitutes a bit of a crisis at Fulham, isn't it? Because they're normally a clean bill of health. They are pretty hard hit up front, so Rodrigo Muniz is definitely out with a muscular issue, and Raul Jimenez will have to be assessed after taking a blow to the hip last weekend while scoring, I think it was. They have one other absentee as well. Kenny Tete is definitely out until well after the October internationals. He's got a knee injury.
Right, yeah. Okay, well, let's move swiftly on to Leeds against Tottenham. We'll go with Leeds first. What's the latest there?
Yeah, Daniel James has joined the injury list this week. Ankle issue, so I think at least 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, I think was a prognosis. Willie Gnonto is not ready to return from a calf injury either. And neither is Lucas Perry. He's had a muscular issue. He is back in training. But if you're a Darlow owner, good news, he won't be considered for selection until after the October international. So Darlow gets at least the next game. One other new injury, it won't affect the starting 11. Harry Gray, the promising youngster, he's a doubt with a hip problem.
Okay, and let's go for Spurs as well next. What's the latest there?
Yeah, most of this team sort of emerged in midweek before the Champions League. So Dominic Solanke's undergone surgery this week on his troublesome ankle. He remains out for the foreseeable. Hopefully get a timeline after the international break. Randall Kolo Muani, he's just had a dead leg. He's sort of dragged on a bit, this injury. He's still unavailable, but he is back on the grass, so he will be available, all being welcome, game week 8. Dragerson, Madison, Kulusevski, they're the long-term ones, still out. Basuma and Koto Takai, they're both trained, although Basuma's, I think, surplus to requirements. And in better news, more relevant FPL news, Christian Romero is fine. He was omitted from the Bordeaux Glimt game on Tuesday as a precaution, but he is trained, and not only is he available, Thomas Frank has confirmed he will start.
Okay, so it should be as you were at the back there for Spurs, you would imagine, this time around.
And Porro coming back in because he was benched, of course, last weekend. So Porro will be back in. Probably it's Spencer's turn, I think, for a rest.
Okay, so yeah, it'd be Romero, Van de Ven, and as per usual. Good. Just in the live chat as well, Barry says he's joining us from a stormy County Tyrone. It's been out in the West Country here. It's been raining non-stop all day.
It's starting to hit here as well, yeah.
Well, we're just hitting the County Tyrone and Somerset weather. It's just hitting you in the northeast. Okay, let's move on to Arsenal West Ham. This is probably the news a lot of people are tuning in for, especially me because I'm wildcarding. Is Gabriel going to be fit for Arsenal?
Well, if you were naively hoping for a concrete Arteta update, you might be disappointed. It's sort of true to form. Arteta doesn't give much away. So immediately after he was taken off, after full time anyway, Arteta said he wasn't overly concerned about Gabriel. He even referenced a different knock. So the one that kind of forced him off, or we thought forced him off, was when David Raya came and flattened him in the match against Olympiacos. But Arteta in the post-match interview referenced a kick in the first half. So talking about different injuries there. Today, he was asked about Gabriel again, and he said we'll have to wait and see after training. He reiterated the not too concerned line.
No, yeah.
And then when the Sky reporter asked him again if his initial outlook on Wednesday of not being too concerned had remained the same, he said, yeah.
Okay. Right. I mean, it's hard to know what to say. I mean, Gabriel, when he went off injured, well, not even injured, it was a knock. And then he was sitting down fine. You know, there was no ice pack. There was no, it was all fine there. Arteta just seemed pretty unperturbed by it all and still is now. But he is a well-known liar. And I think he even prides himself. I mean, to be fair to him, he prides himself on being a liar.
Yeah.
So we have no idea. But to be honest, we have no idea about any of them.
No, exactly. Yeah, I mean, he did say at the time he could have carried on, but we didn't want to take any risks with him. So obviously nothing bad. That doesn't mean to say he won't be rested, because he has rested big name players already. He's treated Saliba with kid gloves since he came back. A lot of the big guns were rested in midweek. I think with a view to playing this weekend, the likes of Saka, Rice, he'll come back in, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But Gabriel is still that lingering doubt, I think. Even if he's not injured, say you might still go with Mosquera and Saliba at the back. The rest of the team news, it's as you were. Madueke, Havertz, Jesus still out, and Nkabe won't be back until after the internationals.
Okay, I heard. Now they're playing West Ham. I think the last couple of games at Arsenal, West Ham have beaten them.
Yeah, beat them twice in succession. Yeah,
to nil.
I'm not sure to nil. I can't remember what the scorelines were, but they've won 2 in a row at the Emirates. Yeah.
I mean, you would imagine that would be on Arteta's mind, and that in this new improved Arsenal that doesn't lose these types of matches, you would imagine he's going to play the best that he can for this.
Essentially, but he didn't play. Where did he not play Saliba? Was it against Newcastle? He didn't play Saliba. I can't remember now.
Yeah,
but he's got previous or even resting the bigger guns in the bigger matches. So who knows? Well, this isn't definitely one of those.
Have a good first sub by the sounds of it. West Ham, what's the latest there?
Yeah, Nuno was up yesterday, and he said that everyone bar George Earthy is fit. So I'm assuming that means Aaron Wan-Bissaka is back after his abdominal issues. Same with Todibo, he's trained as well. The only other absentee is not injury-related, it's suspension, and it's Thomas Souček who completes the final game of a 3-match ban.
Rightio. Okay, let's move on to next match. Manchester United against Sunderland. So obviously Manchester United, everyone's gunning for them now. And their manager, but I know I was reading reports that the owners there are quite keen for him to change, the manager to change his style, like as in the style of winning rather than losing. But I don't know what the latest is there, and what's sort of the latest with personnel and injuries and stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, such as the press conferences of an under fire manager, we'll talk about Ange Postecoglou soon. That when you get a besieged manager. Most of the questions concern their future and how he's going to change things around, and it's less about the team news. And unfortunately, that was the case with Amorim this afternoon. Nothing on the team news front asked of him in the presser. We do know, however, that Amad Diallo is back in training. He has been seen on the grass. He missed out last weekend for personal reasons. He had a bereavement.
Okay.
Casemiro's available as well. He was suspended for that Brentford defeat. Even Tyrell Malacia, remember him? He was out in the cold since the summer because he was linked with a move away, but he's now been welcomed back into the first team training form. So the only 2 absentees that we're aware of, but this could have changed, of course, without any update, are Lissandro Martinez and Nusir Mazraoui. Okay,
rightio. Any predictions on the lineup? Do you think they will change the formation?
He'll not change the formation now. He's saying that himself. He's defending the system in this afternoon's press.
He'll go out fight. He'll die on that hill.
He will.
He'll get sacked on that hill.
Soon by the
yeah. As for Sunderland, so a lot of interest in Sunderland players now. Looking good. What's the latest there?
Yeah, I think it's as you were. So Nordi McNeil, who people were speculating on social media that he might be injured. He's absolutely fine. And otherwise, it's as you were. So Ronaldo is still absent through suspension, and the injured players, Mundel, Zirkin, Elise, Hjelde, and Diarra, they're all still out. Okay, right. Yeah, let's move on to Chelsea-Liverpool. Big match. There's injuries both sides, though. Let's go with Chelsea first, then. What's the latest there? Yeah, nothing major in the press conference. very little in the way of updates. Maresca said Palmer's still out, which is not a surprise. And he confirmed that Chalobah was suspended and 7 or 8 players in total were out. So nothing much new. He said there was a meeting planned for this week as to Palmer's progress. We might get more of an update after the internationals. But the players we think are out are Tosin, Fofana, Colwell, Sugu, Delap, Santos, who's been added to the injury list this week. So they are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 injury players. Mudryk and Chalobah suspended. Buonanotte is back. He couldn't play last weekend because he was on loan from Brighton. And there was a few comments earlier this week about JOÁO Pedro and Caicedo. They are among the, I think, several players who are managing small problems, is what Maresca called them.
Okay.
Both of them featured in the Champions League on Tuesday.
Right.
Pedro from the bench, Caicedo from the start. I think they are just playing through the pain barrier at the moment.
Okay, rightio. And as for Liverpool, quite a big change between the sticks for them.
Yeah, Mohamed Ashford is going to be starting because Alisson's out. No timeline confirmed from Slot this morning. I've seen reports that it's going to be, I think, about 6 to 8 weeks, but that is just media reports. All Slot would say was that he's going to miss this game, the Brazil internationals, and probably the first game back after the national break. I think it's going to be longer than that, by the sound of it. Ekitike, he was taken off in the same game against Galatasaray on Tuesday. Seemed to strain his hamstring when he was reaching for the ball, but he himself said after the game that he thought was just cramp. And Slot said that he's going to train again today, and let's see where he is. The same with Chiesa, who missed out with a little niggle in that match. So the only long-term injury they've got is Leone, who's out for the season.
Okay, rightio. Let's move on to Aston Villa Burnley. I haven't heard anything from Aston Villa yet. What is the latest there?
Yeah, Emery would have been facing the media last night after the final game I think they were playing. And we haven't seen any embargoed quotes. However, we do know that Martinez is a fresh doubt. He was named in the starting 11 for that game and then pulled out later on with, I think, what Emery described as a calf problem. So he is still, he will be a doubt until we get more information on that. I doubt it'll come out before the deadline now. Tielemans, Onana and Barkley were again missing on Thursday night. Garcia as well. Added to that list were Jadon Sancho because of illness and Tyrone Mings with an ankle injury. And then he has been confirmed as out until after the international break, I think.
Okay, rightio. And as for Burnley?
Yeah, nothing new today. Nothing fresh. Amdouni and Bayer are both injured and they're not in the 25-man squad anyway. Connor Roberts has trained. He's been out since the summer. But Parker said that it's probably going to be too soon for him.
Okay, rightio. Let's move on to Everton against Crystal Palace. Now, I, as a Dewsbury Hall owner, well, former owner, know that he suspended 5th yellow card. All these yellow cards look rubbish. Like they don't look in any way yellow cardy. Well, a little bit. They just seem harsh. But anyway,
Moyes said that this afternoon. He says he's not that. Well, the old cliche, he's not that sort of player. But
No,
I mean,
he's
the
not.
winning the ball constitutes getting a yellow card these days.
Yeah.
And, so yeah, he's unlucky that he's reached that so soon. As you say, there 1 match ban, so he'll not be involved against Palace. And the injured players, I think it's as you were, Branthwaite and Merlin Roll still out.
Okay, rightio. And for Crystal Palace, now they had success and rotated in Europe midweek. So yeah, how are they sort of set up for this?
Yeah, much like Emery, Glasner was in action last night and faced the media after that match, so nothing new from him yet. But it's fairly good on the team front, I think. Riyad, Doucouré, Kapora, they're the long-term ones. They're still on the sidelines. Walter Benitez came back, the backup goalkeeper for last night. The only fresh concern we've got is Will Hughes, who took a knock, a dead leg, Glasner described it as. Everybody else, I think, is a planned substitution. So Mateta coming off at half-time, for example, that was pre-planned.
Okay.
Star being on the bench and getting 30 minutes, that was all, going to schedule. So I don't think there's any concerns apart from Will Hughes.
Okay, rightio. Let's move on to Newcastle against Nottingham Forest. Big blow to Newcastle in defence, isn't there?
There is, yeah, but it could have been worse, to be fair. I mean, Tino Livramento stretched it off with a knee injury. You were thinking, is that season over?
Yeah.
As it is, 6 to 8 weeks, I think, is the prognosis. Okay. So he's got off relatively lightly there. But yeah, definitely a blow in the medium term. A slight setback for Wissa as well. Nothing major. I mean, he was due back after the international break. and it's going to be, I think, another 2 weeks after that. So it's nothing too serious. But we're looking at game week. What will that be? Sort of 10 maybe for him. Better news elsewhere. Fabian Schär's back. He was in the squad in Belgium after his concussion. And apparently Jacob Ramsey is ahead of schedule as well and will be in the squad on the bench this Sunday.
Rightio. And as for Nottingham Forest, I see that Ange Postecoglou has been weaving his magic with the defence. Instant impact with him. What's the latest from Nottingham Forest?
Yeah, he's got a knack, hasn't he, for injuring his defenders. Yes, Murillo, who came back, he'd been out for a little while, I think a couple of weeks, and came back last night and was forced off after, I think, was about 23 minutes or something like that, very early on. Ange wasn't sure what the issue was. He says, I think he got a knock. He seemed to be holding his thigh again, which is what he got hit on last time. So I think he's been brought back too soon by the sounds of it. And we don't know if he's going to be out. Ange was, as I said earlier today, he was facing questions mostly on his future and about the crisis and about how we would turn things around, etc.
He's just joined.
I know. The Forest fans were singing, I think, "Sacked in the Morning" last night, weren't they?
Oh my God!
After the defeat, so he's under pressure. I think he's a bookie's favourite for the next manager to leave as well, which is a bit of an indictment of his first few weeks. We do know that Zinchenko and Louise are going to be out, and as I say, Murillo is now re-flagged after having his flag taken off in midweek.
Rightio. Okay, let's move on to Wolves against Brighton. Look, it sounds like it's a good time for Brighton to play Wolves. But in theory, the latest from Wolves, a bit of illness in their camp.
Yeah, a little bit. Fati Gomez, Vitor Pereira said was struggling with the flu. He went on to say Strand Larsson's not 100%, but it wasn't abundantly clear if he was actually ill or if he's just talking about his ongoing Achilles thing.
Okay.
So I'm not sure, but he said he's training anyway. He's with the team. He's not 100%.
Okay.
Matt Doherty's joined the injury list. He's had wrist surgery this week, but I think otherwise they are injury free.
Okay, and as for Brighton,
Hutzler was yesterday. Let me arrange up the quotes. Yeah, Joel Veltman has joined the injury list, which already included Hinchelwood, Webster, and March. A slight bit of doubt around Mitoma. I think. He's been left out of the Japan squad for the upcoming internationals. Though it's worth pointing out that they're not playing World Cup qualifiers. It's some sort of lesser cup thing. And Hutzler did acknowledge that he's got an issue, Mitoma, but he had played through it against Chelsea before coming off. I think he took his boot off, didn't he, when he came off against Chelsea? So he's obviously playing through a knock.
Yeah.
And Hutzler said he would see day by day how he is and whether he's able to play. I think that's it.
Okay.
On the injury front.
Right, yeah, okay, let's move on to final match. Brentford against Man City. We'll go with the home side first. Brentford, what's the latest there?
Reece Nelson and Fabio Carvalho are back from illness and injury, respectively, which only leaves a longer-term one. So Gustavo Nunes and Paris Magoma, both back on the grass, both closing in on returns. I think Brentford even said yesterday in the medical bulletin that Nunes may be available to add to the matchday squad, or he may be kept back for Brentford B's game during the break.
Okay.
But pretty clean bill of health.
Okay, and as for Man City?
Yeah, Pep was up this afternoon, and there wasn't much really on the team news front. He says everyone's come through the game fine, he thinks. He's yet to see them in training. Rodri included. So Rodri was flagged. He missed out against Burnley last weekend. Made a swift return against Monaco, got through an hour, and he seems to have come through that unscathed, although he will be managed, I think, going forward. 4 still flagged. I think we're all expecting them back after the break, and that is Marmoush, Aitnouri, Kusanov, and Cherky.
Right, yeah, okay. Let's try and round up most of that. Available this week. Wan-Bissaka could be back. Lewis Cook for Bournemouth. João Pedro seems fine. Gabriel, we think, is fine, but he may still be rested. We don't know. But as much as we can go, there doesn't seem to be too much to worry about there. Romero is definitely back, and he's definitely going to start for Spurs. Diallo is back after personal bereavement, I think it was. Malacia is also back in the fold at Manchester United. Questionable. Matoma is carrying a knock, and Jimenez got a hip problem. He's going to be looked at. And Murillo's got a thigh problem. There's got to be a major doubt then after he sort of came back and then went off injured again. shortly afterwards, midweek. Definitely out though. Livramento with knee problems. Souček still suspended. One more game for him. Alisson's got hamstring problems. Going to keep him out for a while, a few weeks. Perry is going to miss out with this one, but I think he's back. So it's more fitness concerns with Leeds. Veltman joins the injury list at Brighton with calf problem. Muniz hamstring issues going to keep him out, so they'll definitely need Jimenez at Fulham. Palmer got groin problems. He's going to be looked at, but he's definitely out for this one. Tosin, calf problems, going to keep him out as well. Chalobah is suspended. So, yeah, it's all go on the Chelsea treatment table. Dewsbury Hall, meanwhile, is suspended. Louise and Zinchenko are going to miss out. Louise got hamstring problems. Zinchenko, groin problem. I think we've got most of the things there. Someone asked about Ekitike as well. I think we probably mentioned him, but I think he's fine. I think he's fine. So
he's going to be assessed in training. Ekitike himself said he thought it was cramp, but obviously players aren't doctors.
Yeah, so I don't think he's flagged. It's anywhere near that. So
he is flagged, yeah.
Oh, is he flagged for that? Sort of. Okay, right, yeah. Okay, so yeah, put him in. So put him in the questionable to available categories, I think there. Okay, thanks a lot for your time. Thanks a lot, everyone who's joined us in the live stream as well. Thanks to all you listening and watching. Good luck with the game week. Remember, it's a deadline at 6:30 tonight. We're recording this obviously Friday afternoon. Neale, have a good game week. See you soon.
You too, Joe. Yeah, bye everybody. See you next week.